practice doing some equations where we have 2 steps. So first thing is always the same. Write out the equation. 7 plus 4a equals 23. Now this is where it comes in handy to write out the steps. What is happening to a? Well, according to BODMAS, that multiply will happen first. So first thing will be times by 4. And then there's a 7 being added. So the next thing will be plus 7. And I've got to remember that I've got to work this backwards. So if plus 7 was the last thing, that's the first thing I have to undo. So how do I undo plus 7? Well, that is take 7 on both sides. So let's do it. 7 plus 4a takes 7. 23 takes 7. 7 takes 7 cancels out, but now I don't have just a left over. I've got 4a left over. Make sure you don't lose that 4. 23 takes 7 is 16. Now I've done, and you could even tick it off if you want, you've done that step. Now I have to undo the times by 4. And the times by 4, the opposite would be divide by 4 on both sides. So now I've got to rewrite it out. 4a, 16, add in my new operation, divide by 4. 4 divided by 4, that cancels, and all I'm left with is a. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I think that a equals 4. But now I need to check. My left-hand side is 7 plus 4a, and my right-hand side is 23. And I think a equals 4. So 7 plus 4 times 4. BODMAS, I've got to do the times first. 4 times 4 is 16. 7 plus 16 is 23. I've gotten it correct, and therefore a equals 4. Let's do B. D divided by 3 minus 2 equals 4. So again, let's look at that steps. The first thing will be divide by 3. Then it's take 2, and we need to work it backwards. So how do I undo take 2? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plus 2 on both sides. I'm going to write out the equation, and I'm going to add in my new operation, plus 2 plus 2. Take 2 plus 2 cancels, so all I have left is d divided by 3, and 4 plus 2 is 6. So now I've gotten rid of the take 2, now I need to get rid of the divide by 3. The opposite of divide by 3 is times by 3 on both sides. And so I've got d over 3 and 6, and I'm timesing by 3. Divide by 3 and times by 3 cancel, so I just have d left on this side, and 6 times 3 is 18. I now need to do a check. I've got my left-hand side, which is d divided by 3 take 2, and I've got my right-hand side, which is 4. So I think d is 18. 18 divided by 3 take 2. Now I know sometimes you might be writing this check and you might just be like, oh, I know I'm right. Actually use the check to figure out if you've gotten it right. It's a super useful tool that so many year students use to figure out that they've gotten it wrong and then fix their answer. It's super important. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 6 take 2 is 4. I'm correct. Therefore, D equals 18. Last one, C. 12 equals 2e plus 1. The steps for e is plus 1 and then times by 2 because of the brackets. This is one where students get it a bit backwards. They think, oh, I have to undo the plus first, but because it's in brackets, you have to think, what are the steps? That's why I like to write them out up here. How do I undo times 2? Well, I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. So 12 and 2e plus 1 divided by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And then 2 times 2 divided by 2 are going to cancel, and all I have left is e plus 1. Now I'm doing take 1 on both sides, and I rewrite it out. And a lot of people can say, Miss Collier, do we really have to write it all out? Yes, you have to show your steps. You have to show us what you're doing. This is how you get maximum math value. All right, 6 take 1, 5. Plus 1, take 1, cancels. So I think that E equals 5. Let's check it. Left-hand side is 12. Right-hand side is 2E plus 1. And I think E is 5. So 2, 5 plus 1. 2 times 5 plus 1 is 6. 2 times 6 is 12. And I'm correct. They are both the same. So therefore, E equals 5. You have a go. You don't need to try all of them. Maybe just try one and then compare what other people got. Let's quickly do these answers. 9 plus 3x equals 15. My steps are times by 3 plus 9. So therefore, I'm going to take 9 on both sides. 9 plus 3x, 15. Take 9, take 9. The 9's cancel, leaving me with 3x. 15 take 9 is 6. Now I've got to undo the times by 3, so I'm dividing by 3 on both sides. I'm writing out my equation, I'm adding in my operation, and I'm simplifying. The 3's cancel, leaving me with x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. But of course, I need to check. My left-hand side is 9 plus 3x, and my right-hand side is 15. I think that x equals 2. So I'm going to insert the 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. The left-hand side does equal the right-hand side. Therefore, x equals 2. B. M divided by 4, take 3 equals 2. Now the steps are divide by 4, take 3. So I'm doing the opposite, plus 3 on both sides first. So m divided by 4, take 3. And I'm going to plus 3 on both sides. The 3's cancel, leaving me with m divided by 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. Now I'm doing the opposite, which is times by 4 on both sides. And I'm writing out the equation, m divided by 4, adding in my operation. And the 4's cancel, divide by 4, times by 4 cancels. So all I'm left with is m, and 5 times 4 is 20. But I need to check it. Left-hand side is m divided by 4 minus 3. The right-hand side is 2. I think m is 20. 20 divided by 4, take 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5. 5 take 3 is 2. They are the same. Therefore, m equals 20. Last one is C. 4 p take 2 equals 24. My actions here, very important. P take 2 is first. So take 2 and then times by 4. So I'm going to do divide by 4 first. Now I'm writing out my equation. Then I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides. 4 divided by 4 cancels. I'm left with p take 2. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Now I've got to undo the action of take 2. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides. Write out my equation. P take 2. And I'm going to plus 2 on both sides. Take 2 plus 2 cancel. I'm left with p. 6 plus 2 equals 8. I think it equals 8. So I'm checking. The left-hand side is 4p take 2. And I'm going to write right-hand side down here. I think p is 8. So I'm writing that in. And 8 take 2 is 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Therefore, right-hand side and left-hand side are equal. P equals 8. Alright, I hope that you can see that we can use equivalent equations using the balance method, making sure everything's balanced, doing the same on both sides, to solve one-step equations and two-step equations. And yes, you could keep going forever. But then you can also check the solution by using substitution. So I want you to go out and give it a go. You can now solve any algebraic equation using the balance method.